It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Good morning to you once again. I'm here with Diana Tyndall from Modern Day Marketing. Thrilled to be with you yet again while Sarah's on her trip. Mm-hmm. And I talked to her yesterday, and it was, I think, almost 100 degrees there and 0 here. So we average out to 50.
A winter wonderland in the Ozarks.
I sent her pictures, and she sent me pictures. Yeah, it's a big difference there. This is perhaps the coldest morning of the entire season. Wind chills especially brutal this morning, making it feel well below 0. Because of that, I think the cold more than anything, but also roads in some areas are still messy. Many schools are out again today. So it's the third day that kids are out of school. I know Springfield is out. You can check your district for sure. We're getting official snow totals now for this week's winter storm, and Springfield officially received 6.4 inches, which was well below what was forecast. Yeah. One of the issues, I think, was just how fine the snowflakes were. You can kind of see when it started early in the day, you could see the snowflakes, and I'm like, that's going to take an awful lot of snow to add up to an inch. You know what I mean? Right. Because it's just so small, and the flakes never got any bigger. So less snow than expected. Everybody's probably okay with that. It was enough to cause lots of problems, though, on the roadways all across the state of Missouri. The Highway Patrol tells us they responded to more than 1,100 calls for service, 521 stranded drivers, 374 crashes, 42 injuries, and sadly 2 fatalities from the snowstorm that blew across the state of Missouri this week. And now the extreme cold that's left behind is especially hard on the homeless population. So volunteers are working cold weather shelters, and they're really working overtime to provide warm shelter for people who need it. Many churches take part in that. And now a new building on North Campbell, owned by the Community Partnership of the Ozarks, is able to house people there as an emergency overnight shelter. It's been open 24 hours a day since the storm hit. It will eventually turn into a daytime center for the homeless. But right now, because of the need, because of the extremely cold, dangerous temperatures, it is open 24/7.
Yeah, it's so glad they have a place to go. Yeah, I'm ready for the kids to go back to school, though. I will say that.
It's been 3 days, and well, actually, it's been 2 days. So today's the third day.
It is. Yeah, it's been long enough. Let's just say, like, I was commiserating with my neighbor, and she's like, another day of AMI.
Another day.
Yeah,
and AMI means they have to do schoolwork now, right? They have to.
Yeah. Like, not really that much, let's be honest. Okay. AMI is alternate methods of instruction, I think, and they have a little packet they do, and I think to prevent a snow day from being counted against them. So or towards them getting out of summer. Right. Late. So anyways, on to this sad story. A fire took the life of a 82-year-old woman in Buffalo. It happened overnight at an apartment in Buffalo. When firefighters got inside, they found the victim, and the cause is not known, but it's considered to be suspicious. An investigation is underway.
I think it's not suspicious.
Oh, it's not suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's even better, because I was going to say, that's really terrible. I almost said, if you have any tips, call your local authorities.
Probably
electrical.
My guess this time of year is that maybe there was a space heater involved. That's sadly.
Oh yeah.
Or an oxygen tank and smoking. There are different things that can happen. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah. And I know nothing about it other than they say it is not looked at as suspicious.
Okay. Well, thank you for the correction.
Yeah. Now this story, and we've been telling you about this for a little while, the saga of this story. Republicans now in the state house are not happy that taxpayers are paying the salary of a man who played a role in the murder of his 9-year-old stepdaughter. David Spears, you may recognize that name. We've told you about him. He's been working in the state public defender's office for several years now after pleading guilty to lesser charges of endangering the welfare of a child and hindering the prosecution. He was the person who eventually led police to the body of Rowan Ford, of Stella, in 2007, days after she disappeared. He also confessed to participating in the rape and murder, but that confession was later not allowed in court. His friend, and this was a recent story, his friend Christopher Collings was executed just in December for the rape and murder of Rowan. Spears was sentenced to 11 years in prison, only served half of that, then got out and started working for the public defender's office. Now, state Republicans are backing up a move by the House Budget Committee to stall the appropriations process for money for the Missouri State Public Defender's Office, and they say they are willing to reject the public defender's budget request because it continues to employ David Spears, the taxpayer. They say justice for Rowan Ford and her family must come first. So, something that continues, and if there's any changes, we'll let you know.
Okay. Well, onto this, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe signed an executive order to eliminate DEI programs from state agencies. DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. In the last several months, many governments and big businesses have ended their DEI programs after claims that the programs themselves are discriminatory because they are based on race, gender, sexual orientation, or other things. Governor Kehoe said Missourians deserve a government that treats all individuals equally without preferential treatment or discrimination based on immutable characteristics. So there you have it.
All right.
And blood drives are happening today in Springfield, and there is a big need for them if you're able to donate. The winter storm has led to a drop in blood supply because it canceled some local blood drives and closed donor centers. Cox Health and Mercy Hospital are both hosting blood drives that are open to the public, and donors will get a hoodie from the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks. You can get more information and schedule an appointment to give blood at the Blood Center's website.
Cool.
So check out Community Blood Center of the Ozarks.
Yeah, I know. Whenever they have to shut down, that they're always almost at a deficit, right? They're always struggling to get blood donors, and then when something happens like this, and some of those scheduled blood drives have to be canceled, it puts them behind, and they start to freak out on our behalf, which we appreciate.
And it could save someone's life. So go save a life and give blood.
There you go.
And wages in Greene County, they climbed in third quarter of 2024. Average weekly wages increased by nearly $1,100, which is up 4% over the same time period prior.
Okay. Well,
good.
Working hard to keep up with inflation.
Right. Thank you.
Keeping our head above water. Hey, this Saturday, this is cool for a Springfield mixed martial arts fighter because he will be in the national spotlight. This is awesome. Julius Walker will be on the main card at the UFC fight in Seattle, fighting the number 15 ranked light heavyweight in the country. So he's got his work cut out for him. And Julius only found out about this fight about 10 days ago. But he said, "You want me there? I'm in." So good for him. Julius and Saturday's UFC Seattle bout can be seen on ESPN Plus if you're interested in catching that.
Wow, that's exciting.
Rooting him on, yeah.
Yeah. I love watching MMA stuff. Like, it's pretty scary.
It's intense.
And exciting. It's intense, yeah. Well, apparently losing the Super Bowl had a major effect on the Chiefs quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. He cut his hair. This should have been our top story, Ethan. Oh my gosh. And people are freaking out. Ethan, I think, has a picture. Oh my goodness. It's a lot shorter on top than what we're used to, folks. Yeah. So he was photographed at his grandfather's funeral without his signature due. It's a hairstyle that kids have been trying to recreate for a few years now. And just like that, it is gone. Nobody got any warning. Surprise. He's smiling. So that's good. And if you're watching this on Facebook, you can actually see the pictures that Ethan is sharing. There was no time to grieve. It's in the off season. We get it, but maybe he will grow it out for the season.
There's still time. There's still hope.
There is, but it's just
what
sad.
I notice about this, to me, is that these pictures, he looks just like a regular dude.
Yeah, he looks normal.
He looks normal. And we're so used to the high hair and the curls and all of the stuff he's got going on.
Oh, we have the fake wig. I mean, we have the fake like Patrick Mahomes wig that has the band, and 15 and you got the crazy hair. My husband likes to wear it for Halloween sometimes.
Well, good for him. He should.
Or as a hat.
I don't know. I prefer what I'm used to, the signature do.
I don't know.
I like it.
Maybe it was just getting really long for him and it was, taking up too much space in his helmet. Maybe.
My guess is his wife was calling the shots when it comes to that. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, we're ready let's try something new, get a haircut. And he's like, all right.
And summer's coming, so spring is coming. Maybe he's prepping for it.
Do you think he'll grow it out? You think the backlash will be too strong?
What if he cuts it shorter? I'm going to bet he cuts it shorter, actually.
Well, Kelsey changes his a lot.
Yeah.
During the season, he'll have different looks.
Yeah.
So maybe Patrick's trying that.
I saw something funny about Kelsey the other day, and it was some not infographic, but it was some picture that said Kelsey is like a combination of a lot of different characters from that movie that was like a really inappropriate movie, but it had the baby in it. You probably didn't see it. Anyways, it had the baby. You know how people have like the baby on board, like the cool looking baby on board? I can't remember that movie. Anyways, they said Kelsey's like the combination of all of these different people in that movie with how he dresses and how he looks with his sunglasses. And I was like, yes, you are. It just made a lot of sense in that moment. It did.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I don't know if people are going back to work today or not. I would imagine some of them are, but
thank you for those who are going back to work, like in our hospitals and first responders.
Oh, yeah. They never stopped working. For God's
blessing. Thank you. No. And here we are.
You shoveled?
I shoveled the driveway. You shoveled too, right?
I shoveled.
It was a lighter snow. I was thankful for that, and it didn't get all compacted yet. So,
well, I started out with good intentions because as it was coming down, it was those super light flakes, and small flakes. So I went out with the leaf blower, and I thought I'm going to outsmart this storm. Yeah, and I'm going to come out here every hour or two, and I'm just going to blow my driveway off. So I started doing that. And then we have a fairly long driveway. By the time I got to the bottom of it, I looked back up and it was already covered again. I was like, okay, but what's happening? Yeah. So I had to go back again faster. So I said, what's happening is that I'm going to have to come out here every hour. And then I ended up not doing that. But what happened when I went out to shovel today, because I tried the leaf blower yesterday, and it didn't work. And I said that I couldn't even tell the difference between what I blew the snow off and the other side where I didn't the day before. So I was like, well, that didn't work at all.
Right.
And I even posted video of it, but I posted, I like to give marriage advice from time to time.
Oh, what do you have today?
Because I'm so good at it. But on my Facebook page, I posted that I had a great way for men to make sure that your wife appreciates you. And that is to only shovel your half of the driveway.
No.
Yeah. So that's what I did.
To shovel her side.
Well, hers is on the left there, and I just shoveled my half, as you can see. But the caveat is that my wife is out of the country for another week. Another week and 3 days. So
because Sarah's in Africa. This is funny now, but it would not be funny if you really do that. In fact, you should probably go to counseling if you just do your side.
I wish the guys good luck if they actually tried it.
Yeah, no, that would not go well. I shoveled our whole driveway, like the whole thing.
That's impressive.
It was a good workout. And
it was
I'm sore today for it.
I can imagine. It's light enough where you could just kind of push it all to one side and then do a little cleanup after that.
Yeah. I could just sweep it almost with a broom.
Right. It wasn't heavy and wet, which was nice. Yeah. Also, it didn't add up to much, which was also good.
Right.
All right.
Stay warm.
That's right. It'll be a day where you got to work to stay warm today. So, so God bless you if you're headed out and about. And as always, we hope to see you right back here bright early tomorrow. It's Friday, so we'll celebrate then. See ya.
Okay. Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. We are waking up to incredible cold across the Ozarks on this Thursday. It is February 20th, and it just feels awful all across the Ozarks. We are smashing low temperature records all across the region with numbers in the negatives. Not only does it feel like minus 20, our actual cold temperatures this morning are anywhere from 0 to negative 10 all across the Ozarks. This is going to go down in the record books because record lows for February 20th, well, in Springfield, 7 back in 1918. So well below our record low temperatures for the day. Record low in Joplin, by the way, 16, just totally smashing that low temperature record. Rolla at 6. It is going to be a cold night in the Ozarks, and we may see some low temperature records break again tomorrow as lows are also in that 0 to about 5 degree range. It's a cold start for sure, and we are looking at crazy cold across the Ozarks again as we head into this afternoon. But today will be warmer than yesterday afternoon, and I think you'll like this forecast by the time we get to next week. We have incredible cold settling into the region with high temperatures in the teens and low 20s today. I expect that these wind chill values that are near minus 20 are going to feel more like 0 by the time we get to this afternoon. So it gets better later in the day. If you've still been waiting to dig out, shovel the driveway, clean the car off, you might want to wait till later in the day. It's not going to be warm, but it will at least be better than early this morning. If you have to get out on the roads this morning, just keep in mind there is still some hazardous travel across the Ozarks because temperatures have just been so cold. We haven't seen a whole lot of melting. Great improvement. The road crews have done an amazing job. The main roads are okay in most areas, but these side streets, the neighborhoods, still a mess. And those are going to remain a mess because the temperatures stay below freezing for us all day today. Some sunshine and radiation will help, but it's not going to be enough to melt all of this away. As I mentioned yesterday, nearly 4 to 8 inches area wide across the Ozarks. So it's going to take some time to melt this off. This morning, we have feels like temperatures minus 10 to minus 20, dangerous cold for the kids too. Lots of area schools closed again. But even if the kids want to go out and play in the snow, keep in mind that these numbers really are dangerously cold. So keep that very limited. Nobody can handle this outside very long. All exposed skin has to be covered in temperatures that are this cold. Record lows this morning, and bitter cold sticks around for the course of the afternoon today. That's the big headline for you. But then a gradual warming trend is going to take place as we head into the weekend. I've got numbers above the freezing point again by this weekend, and that combined with some sunshine, we're going to start to melt off this snowpack, and I think by next week, it'll be a thing of the past with high temperatures forecasted to make it back up into the 50s and 60s. So it's a wild ride for us here. Today, high temperatures, upper teens for those of you that got quite a bit of snowpack on the ground. However, others are in the 20s, and we will take numbers just below the freezing point for the highs as we head into Friday as well. I expect that we warm above freezing by Saturday. Numbers are in the upper 30s and low 40s. We get some sunshine there. Low temperatures are looking better too. We're once again going to see numbers in the single digits tonight, but tomorrow we're back to the 20s, and we're back closer to the freezing point for morning lows by the time we get to Sunday night into early Monday. Speaking of Monday, we could see the 60s again. It'll be kind of whiplash here in the weather department. We've got some wild swings with these temperature forecasts, but certainly we are all looking forward to Monday. You normally can't say that, right? No Sunday scaries this time. Monday looks like we'll have some sunshine and high temperatures in the 60s for next week, which will feel like summertime compared to what we've got around today. Around the country, it's not just us seeing the record cold this morning. We are setting records all across the central United States with some very cold air in place. We also have mountain snow and low elevation rainfall happening for the Pacific Northwest as yet another storm system moves in from the West Coast. We've also got snow that's wrapping up this morning for the Mid-Atlantic. There was some snow yesterday for the Carolinas. That's continuing off on the Mid-Atlantic coast. And now we are going to see the Arctic cold arrive for our friends in Florida. I know it's been warm for those folks. Many people retreating to Florida this time of the year to escape the snow, but the cold is now arriving for our Florida friends too. So we will keep them in our thoughts. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. And I gave you a true or false yesterday. True or false? Beet juice is effective at melting snow. And the options are A, true, or B, false. You might think that this is false, but it's actually true. And the real key here, and maybe a bit of a trick question, is that it is most effective when beet juice is mixed with salt. That allows the temperature to be a little bit, it allows the salt brine to work at a lower temperature when you mix it with the beet juice. So, in fact, the city of Springfield does this. I am told they have different ways of melting off snow and ice, considering on what the event actually is. And in the extreme cold temperatures, they will sometimes implement this beet juice mixed with salt brine to lower the temperature where that salt is effective to clear the road. So we got to come up with all sorts of creative solutions, and beet juice is one of those. So congrats if A, true, was your choice. Here's another snow question for you. The quiz question for tomorrow. When driving in snow, you should avoid using your what? A, high beam headlights, B, low beam headlights, C, emergency flashers, or D, rear window defroster. You can submit that guess at aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much to our sponsors of Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, Command Family Medicine, and John's Heating and Air. I sure appreciate you listening this morning. If you are getting out and venturing out on the roads, be cautious, especially on the side streets, not the main roads. There are still some problems across the Ozarks, and we're going to hold on to those through the end of the week. I think by this weekend is when we'll start to really see the road conditions improve, and we'll start to melt our way out of this frozen tundra that we have found ourselves in. Thanks for listening. Have a fantastic day. We'll chat again tomorrow morning.